Hi guys, welcome to our show. I'm Jules and this is Jimmy, and we are discussing today all things real estate and investing for your financial freedom.
Today here at Impulse Cash Flows, where we interview Allen Mendelsberg, a Tucson broker in the commercial real estate business. So let's take you to our show. All right, welcome to Impulse Cash Flow show. This is Jimmy Gonzales with Impulse Cash Flow. Today we have Allen, and thank you so much for being a part of our show today. Really, it's an honor to have you here. I've worked with you numerous times. I met up with you. I feel like I can beat you on our next golf game, but next time. But anyhow, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Well, let's first start off, tell us who you are, where'd you grew up from?
Grew up in Denver, Colorado. Made my way to Tucson, Arizona to attend the University of Arizona. I'm a big outdoors guy. I love tennis and golf, so I needed to escape the snow and move off to the desert. So here I am. I've been here and haven't left since.
No, honestly, Tucson is really amazing. As soon as I started hanging out there, the weather's cooler, the mountain vibes, the people, it's a pretty good town.
It's amazing to just see from when I first got to Tucson to where we are now, how much the city has grown. You know, it was nowhere near what it was, when I was back in college, and now it's a happening place where everybody wants to move and be located.
Yeah, when we were there last year, it seems like it's being regentrified in all of the neighborhoods, and there's a lot of cool restaurants and stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're long overdue.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, absolutely. So, since you graduated college last year, did you graduate knowing that you were going to be commercial real estate, or?
No, I had kind of a unique path. Nobody in my family's in real estate. And I was signed up to go to the business school, but I looked at how much work that entailed, and I said that was not the right fit for me, and moved off to a regional development major. And part of that major was finding an internship my sophomore year, and couldn't find anything other than one real estate internship, and signed up for that and have been hooked on real estate ever since.
It's just been growing from there. And then how'd you get into commercial real estate?
So that internship was a retail internship. And I saw the opportunity in Tucson. Tucson at that time, and kind of still is a very old town. It's the brokerage here was a lot of very old and guys that have just been doing it for years. And I thought that I can bring some energy and enthusiasm and, give the real estate world here in Tucson a different perspective from somebody a lot younger than the norm.
No, absolutely. So it definitely has been growing. Can you explain a little bit about the Tucson real estate market, being a broker, where it's at, where it was from, maybe past 5 years to where it is today?
Yeah, I can kind of go back a little bit further. So I specialize in apartment complexes from 10 to 120 units here in Tucson. When I started my career, in 2009, 2010, it was a very depressed market. My biggest clients were the banks. Tucson was kind of a cowboy town, and where there was not a lot of development, not a lot of growth, within the job sector of the market. We were adding call centers and distribution center jobs, and just your $10 to $15 an hour low wage, paycheck to paycheck tenants. And really we needed something to change. And, I think there was a government or political shift, kind of 2016, 17, 18, where we started to really be pro-business and really wanted to attack. And we needed to do whatever it took to get employers here. So that's usually dropping your pants and giving tax incentives and help, forcing them to consider Tucson an option. Before we weren't really doing that. So it started with Caterpillar and Hexagon and some of these big companies coming to Tucson, and it kind of has springboarded Tucson into the national scene. Tucson is a clear winner in COVID, during COVID. We've seen not so much job growth, but we've seen our population grow significantly here. To the point where our rental market couldn't be any hotter. We're seeing significant rental increases.
Yeah.
We're seeing vacancy way down. It's just all the indicators. I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said, is it a bunch of Californians?
We are probably, what I'll say is we're about 90% of our investors are people outside of Tucson.
Yeah.
So we are a lot of Phoenix, a lot of California. We're a lot of everything right now. We got demand through the roof and we got no supply. So that's kind of what has led to the real property appreciation that we've seen over the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We went to a REI club and we met up with Kyle. I'm sure you're good friends with Kyle. And then Kyle had mentioned your name and the Tucson market because I was forecasting, looking at Tucson. And he's like, yeah, hit up my buddy Allen. And then I hit you up and then you're like, yeah, it sounds good. You started throwing me some deals and then I was really serious because I could see the market growing in Tucson as it did. So I projected pretty well and you were a huge benefit to us doing that.
Yeah, Tucson's one of those markets where, as most of the other larger markets were seeing significant growth, we were kind of just stumbling along. And we really needed a different viewpoint and we really needed jobs. Everything relates to jobs and we needed high-paying jobs to come to our market. And our population growth has really just been perfect for Tucson. And Tucson is one of the hottest markets right now because we are just seeing our rapid acceleration while most of the other markets have seen it and kind of fizzled out. So they're coming to play here.
Yeah. That's cool. So like breaking down Tucson market, do you see it growing even further or any speculation with the housing market, the rental market at all?
Yeah, Tucson is at a point where, when you compare it to the residential market, there's not a lot of homes on the market here. This is a market where even on the residential side, demand is way higher than supply, which has led to a lot of development, on the residential end. And I think we're starting to, there's already been multifamily development, but we're going to continue to see that grow. We are still one of the most affordable places in the country, for a major city. It's not many places you can go and live in a 2-bedroom for $900. Tucson, if there were to be a correction or a recession or anything, we don't have far to go down. We're already extremely affordable. And, some of these other markets like California, where that same 2 bedrooms, $2,300 to $2,400, is in line for a much bigger fall if there was ever, if there's ever a turn in this market. So investors view this as a safe play and a safe and growing play. So I think it's, and I totally agree with them. I don't think we're going to see much change coming up in the next few years here in Tucson.
That's perfect. Well, so we have a lot of friends who are investors and or partners that want to invest in the United States, but then in Tucson particularly, what would it take to invest, like get a property with you?
It's tough. Right now we control probably 70% of all the deals here in Tucson, under 120 units. It's a feeding frenzy. It's a bidding war. It is tough to find a quote unquote steal of a deal. Right now you're paying retail and retail plus for most of our investments. And I'd say 80-90% of our investments are, now going to the market, as opposed to maybe the last few years where we did a lot of off-market deals. But, you need to have a clean offer. That's the biggest issue that we're seeing with a lot of out-of-state investors, is they want to put in financing contingencies. They want to put in long due diligence periods. They want to put in very little earnest money to win a deal in our market, you have to have a strong offer throughout. And that means you're not lacking in one area. And right now, I mean, if we get 10 offers on a building, we probably have 5 or 6 of those with 45-day financing contingencies. Those offers go straight to the trash can. You know, we don't even consider, you know, those offers as being realistic anymore. You know, with the market as competitive as it is, you need to go non-refundable in 15 to 20 days. You know, you need to make a decision in whether you're going to buy it or not. You better have financing lined up. You know, financing is also, you know, becoming a little bit of a challenge. You know, more not a challenge, but you're not able to get super leveraged properties like you once were. Right now, we're, you know, for deals sub 5 million, we're still, most of them coming in at about 70% LTV. So not a lot of 75 or 80% out there in the marketplace. So you need to be willing to put down an appropriate down payment.
For sure.
Wait, what does LTV mean?
That's loan to value. So,
oh, okay. I sometimes get mixed up on the acronyms.
Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms in real estate. It took a long time to finally hone that down, but yeah. Awesome. Well, is there any tips that you can share with us if you're looking at investing into your real estate market? You know, like what can our listeners do to prepare themselves? You know, what kind of tips that you have to provide?
Well, you know, like I mentioned, with demand as high as it is right now, it's kind of a shift from when I first started. You know, when I first started, you know, in the business and, you know, 09, 10, and 11, I was kissing all the buyers' butts, you know, because we had way more supply than we did buyers. And right now it's completely flipped, where I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of buyers, and I have a tiny bit of property. So the buyers that are getting deals are ones that are in constant contact with us. You know, if I have a meeting with an investor over the phone or in person and I don't hear from him again, the chances of me calling him are 0. You know, the ones that have stayed in contact with us, we know are serious, and, you know, we are looking to do business with them. You know, they're following up with us on a weekly basis. You know, so my biggest advice is to stay in touch with us. You know, it's, you know, as a broker, I shouldn't say that I need you to stay on top of me. Usually I'm the one that stays on top of you, but our market has changed. And, you know, I think the other advice I would have is to have your money lined up. You know, there's a lot of syndicators out there and a lot of people that are raising money to buy deals, and they don't have their money lined up. And so they need to have a long due diligence period in order to raise their money. So my advice to them is, if they want to be competitive, they need to stress to their investors how hot the market is and how quick this market moves. You know, we're only out there for 5 to 10 days of marketing time. You know, that's a very, very short period of time. So you need to have your money lined up, ready to go. So when you get a deal, you're not having to, you know, to worry about raising the necessary funds in order to, you know, to purchase it.
Yeah, because these companies, they'll come in, they'll see a deal, they'll lock it up under contract, and then they take that deal to their partners, and then they're trying to raise capital. You know, is it often not that they don't become successful in raising those funds?
Well, I think that's what's really kind of separated, you know, because a lot of those syndicators want 30 days. You know, it's tough to raise money in 15 days if you don't have everything locked down. Yeah. And so it's hurting a lot of those first-time syndicators that are coming out here and trying to prove themselves. You know, so there's a lot of them out there that are, you know, that are seeing how hot the market is. There's so much money out there, but if you don't have your investors lined up, it's hard for you to really compete on deals. You know, having an extended, you know, due diligence period. This is a very cutthroat market right now, and you need to have everything in place. And if you don't, you're not going to get deals. And it's easy to see the groups that don't have the financing in place, the money in place, it's pretty easy to pick them out right now.
For sure. Because you keep sending me deals all the time, and I'm like, that looks like a good one, but I know I don't have my ducks in a row to, you know, I don't want to waste your time because I'm not ready.
And we have deals where, I mean, we took out a 71 unit apartment complex and had 41 offers. You know, when you see deals that competitive, you're getting a lot of groups to go immediately non-refundable on contract execution. So they'll go to the seller and say, as soon as you sign this purchase contract, we're going to give you $100,000 of cash wired to you. So the people that have everything in place are able to bully the ones out that don't.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the struggle, is any deal that we take out to the market, if it doesn't trade in 2 weeks or less, we did something wrong. If there's a deal that's on the market, you know, granted, there's not a lot of other brokers that are competing with us, but if they take something out and it's on the market for over 2 weeks, that's a big red flag. So it's very easy to see, you know, there's a huge sense of urgency once something hits the market. And then once it's been out there for 2, 3, 4 weeks, the first question is, why is it still out there? And you go from a position as a seller of power to you quickly become in a defensive position as a seller, just because, you know, you mismarketed the property or mispriced the property.
Yeah, really good. Appreciate it. We'll start us off.
Would you rather?
The secret.
Oh, okay. What would you say your secret to success is in your line of what you do?
You know, I think my biggest secret is that, you know, we want to outwork the competition. You know, we are not Mr. Shortcut here. This is a business, especially any type of commercial real estate, where things are not handed to you. You have to go out there and earn it. So, you know, my team, you know, I'm lucky to be working with Conrad, who you've met, and we just hired Elizabeth. They're here 8 a.m. They work till 5 p.m. and we are on the phones working. You know, this is one of those businesses, commercial real estate, that the harder you work, the more you can play. And so we've spent a long time cold calling, hammering, you know, marketing. You know, we've done all the hard work that a lot of brokers in our market just skip over or are not willing to make. So I think going the extra mile and doing the things that aren't always fun has really led to our success.
That's a good tip.
Okay.
Ready?
So now we're going to move on to Would You Rather round.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. This is inspired by our kids. Okay, would you rather a hot dog or a hamburger?
I'm a hamburger guy.
Okay.
Would you fly to the moon or would you stay on land?
You know, I would love to say fly to the moon, but I'm like scared of heights, so I'd be on land. I'd be at the beach golfing.
Okay, classic car or muscle car?
Classic car.
Would you rather go to the beach or the mountains?
Beach. If I wanted the mountains, I'd still be in Colorado.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Stocks or real estate?
Whew. It's tough because my money is split fairly evenly between both of them. The problem with real estate for me, and why I would go with stocks, is that I'm too busy to manage and oversee the property. So my investments are more hands-off, and I have my mom who can invest stocks for me and has done a very good job. So that seems to be the better option.
No, that's a good answer.
Yep.
Would you rather do, well, single family or multifamily?
Multifamily, without a question.
Yeah.
Okay, residential or commercial?
Commercial.
Would you rather do active income or passive income?
At this point in my career, I want to be hands-off. It's our business is going too well for us to be really involved in doing projects. Eventually, I think down the road, that'd be an avenue I'd look to venture into.
No, absolutely.
Okay, book or audiobook?
Oh man. I want to say that I'm a big reader and a big audiobook, but by the time I'm done working and working out, I'm watching an hour of TV, and I'm in bed. So there's not a lot of reading that gets done in my household.
Got it.
And the last one is webinar or seminar?
I like the webinars. For me, it all depends on who's speaking. You know, I'm good with either, but who's ever speaking is going to grab my attention.
Got it.
Yeah, so like we normally ask, well, this is the same questions we ask all our guests, and we like to see real quick, you know, what's their thoughts, and then sometimes they elaborate a little bit on like how they come up with that, with their with what they choose. So it's really interesting what they choose. Yeah,
I'm probably not the typical answers that you got on there with no reading and.
No, everyone's different. It's great. I love it.
We'll skip the "What's your favorite book?" question.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, skip that one.
So tell us what you do for fun. You know, tell us a little bit more about yourself today.
So I have a beautiful, soon-to-be 5-year-old daughter that takes up the majority of my time, who I love more than anything. She's my best friend, so I love spending time with her. I'm the coach of her soccer team, and when I'm not with her, I'm out on the golf course, and I'm very involved in the charity community here in Tucson. So,
oh, that's cool.
Like to travel. You know, I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Nice. Does she know what she wants to wear for Halloween yet?
We're going. Her birthday's in a couple of weeks, so we're going to try to knock down both of those outfits on that trip.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got to have a princess and superhero party, so we gotta find a good costume for her.
Yeah. Okay. What's the next one? What are your future goals?
Future goals. I mean, I would love to. Our business is growing rapidly. You know, I would love to get into some bigger units down the road, and I think we're in a prime position to really grow our team and expand kind of what our niche is. You know, we've just really controlled the small middle market, and I think that we can start to push up into larger units while still maintaining kind of what our bread and butter is.
And when you say large units, can you elaborate a little bit, like how many units that would be?
I think we'd want to go up to about, instead of 120 units and under, 200 units and under would probably be a good position for us over the next 3 to 5 years.
And would this be in Tucson, Arizona, out of state?
I think I've learned that it's best to really have a niche and control it.
For sure.
And try to expand yourself thin, just to expand.
Yeah.
Right now we are plenty busy here in Tucson. We have a stronghold on this market, and unless we really grew the team a lot bigger, I wouldn't look to go to other markets as of right now, but that can always change.
No, absolutely. Just curious. Good to hear your side. What would you say your biggest learning experience in real estate would be, whether if it's for being as a broker or investing on your side?
Well, what I always tell people is this is not a sexy and fun business when you start. This is a very hard and difficult and miserable for me and that's kind of why the barrier to entry is so hard in the commercial field compared to residential. Residential, you have your network is always going to be buying houses, and so you have a network. When you start in the commercial field, nobody knows who you are. Nobody wants to talk to you. You have only time to offer. You have no experience. So it takes a long time, 2 to 3 years to really ramp up and to build your foundation. And the problem during those 2 to 3 years is you're making no money. And so if you have a family, it's tough, bringing in $30,000 a year, $40,000 a year as a new agent. And so luckily I had my parents help me out right out of college that really kind of eased any potential money concerns I had. And this is a business that the longer you're in it, the more defined, the more committed to Tucson I am. So the longer I stayed here, the more defined I am to Tucson, because I can't just take my sellers and buyers and move them to other markets. So I think that's really helped me is my ramp up has really been accelerated, and now I'm in a position where I'm able to teach others that are joining my team, and I think that we're primed to only grow from here. It's we're happy, but we're not satisfied.
That's awesome. Are you gonna be governor 2022?
No. Real estate and what I do is stressful enough that I don't need to think about doing anything else.
No, that's good. Well, I know time is valuable, so I know we took a lot of your time today, so I really appreciate it. Can you tell our listeners, like, if they want to get into the Tucson market, or if you said something that they were interested in, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that I'm young. You can contact me on my cell phone at any time, or my office line. My office is 520-546-2721. And my cell phone, feel free to call me, is 520-490-2113. And you have to be available in this position at all times. So I'm on the phone all day, so if I don't get back to you soon, I usually get back to you as quickly as I can. But other than that, my email address is amendelsberg, AMENDELSBERG @Picor, PICOR.com. And you can get on our email list, and we'll get you all our properties as they hit the market.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Good. Well, thank you, Allen. Really appreciate it. Take care, buddy.
No problem. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Have a good day. Oh my gosh, what a great show. What'd you think, babe?
I thought it was awesome. That's the guy we met in Tucson, right?
Yeah, we had lunch with him.
Okay, so I thought he was familiar.
Yeah.
It was great. He shared a lot of valuable information, and I actually have friends that want to invest in the commercial side that are looking at buying apartments out of state. So I think he provided a lot of information that will be valuable.
No, absolutely. It's a lot of tremendous value with understanding with how crazy the real estate market is and the key players that you have to go up against. So really honing in on the relationships like Allen, and if you're looking at getting into real estate, reach out to him, call him, take him out to a golf match. I went golfing with Allen, and we went to lunch with Allen, and we've built up a pretty good relationship. So if you're looking at getting in the real estate business, it's all about friendships, relationships. All right.
Till next time.
Take care. Have a good day.